Hi everybody, it's the start of a brand new week. Am I settled into this house? No, it's going to take weeks I think before I get stuff. We got so much crap. Absolutely loads of crap. Anyway, enough about me. Let's talk about Marvel Contest of Champions, shall we? So let's kick off with this. As you know, the Push Further calendar is currently live in game. It looks a little bit like this. Oh, isn't it nice? And certain progressions get different things depending on where you are. I think Paragon get different to Valiant or something. It's like whatever it is. Yeah, you get a different one. Unless you go up a progression during the calendar's existence currently, which looks, well, it doesn't look like this, but this is what I was saying. It's kind of like if you go up a progression, you don't seem to get the calendar that's represented. So Diabolord says, I recently reached Paragon. I still have Thronebreaker calendar though. Is this intended? I want to say it is, because I don't think they these particular calendars don't update when you kind of go. I think when it's a calendar, it's set. It's very different if you're, I think as well if you go up a progression and you look at things like your kind of like June, July, whatever it is, like these particular calendars, they're always like the same until you reach the next month or next calendar cycle and you get something new. So I don't think you're going to see an upgrade if you go up a progression, even though that would be nice because then it would mean that people will get some nice 7 stars, but I don't think they're going to do that. Let's talk about Battlegrounds. We've got 2 Battlegrounds related stories today. We're going to touch upon matchmaking again, just in case you missed the little kind of snippet that I covered earlier, or on Friday that is. But this first story is really funny. I mean, you can see this. Now, I'm not going to say who this was, but I saw this on Twitter. Shout out to the person on Twitter. But yeah, for some reason, and I think this might be either a visual bug or some other kind of bug, Kabam are allowing this player to use 12,535,500 victory shields right there. I don't know. The thing is, I saw some people were unable to use victory shields in Battlegrounds. Look, there's a whole bunch of scuff that's going on with Battlegrounds at the moment. The matchmaking thing, which we'll talk about in the story later on in the show, is it's a hot topic. It's a debatable topic, but it's also something that I think people are going, you know, Kabam need to do better, but unfortunately Kabam did bad, so they have to cover. The thing is, I don't know if Kabam would even admit to like the matchmaking being an issue, but anyway, this is a funny story. We'll talk about the other unfair matchmaking a little bit later on. Now, today is the day for the super event. The super event, if you don't know, is the amalgamation of various different types of events in one, taking your 22-hour solo event milestones, 24-hour solo event rank rewards, 7-hour solo event rank rewards from that, 24-hour login crystal, which I'm still a bit kind of like, not sure about that. 4-hour login crystal, daily objectives, weekly login, calendar, all those things are going to be amalgamated into one. The daily objectives need to be done, and so do the weekly objectives, because Cavalier crystals, they're fun, aren't they? Said absolutely nobody ever with them. The ones that look a little bit like those right there, those crystals right there, the ones that, what's the point of them? I don't know. They're all being amalgamated, and this is part of like a data research from Kabam to go, hey, we're putting something new. I think it looks good. Like, it's 9 things out of 10 or 8 things out of 10 have been ticked with a box, and I can just go like, I think this is fantastic, and this saves players time. It means that for those that don't want to be super active in game, can go in, do a little bit of work, about 30 minutes worth of work, and get so many things that would have taken them hours to do. And that I like. But I want to see more of that in Marvel Contest of Champions, just because, you know, the game has changed. And also people's time has changed. People have to do stuff more in life. But it's always very exciting to see some stuff. And so these 24-hour super events for 20 days are going to be very exciting. It ends on July 22nd, as you can see right there. With it. So that's going to be good, and you're just going to earn milestones by winning fights and leveling champions. Simple as that. Play for 10 minutes, earn milestones. I thought it was meant to be 30 minutes. I thought Kabam was saying it was 30 minutes, but hey, maybe it's different. We'll have to see. And if you haven't seen the rewards, I'll put a link in the description to this post. This is an official comms post, and yeah, it gives selections and selectors. I might do a video about spending these selectors. That might be a good idea for a video tomorrow. I do want to cover this and see how long it takes, but also I want to do like, okay, if you select this way for 20 days, you get this. If you select this way for 20 days, you get that when it comes to these choice things right here. So I'll do that. I'll make a note of that and we'll do a lovely video. Now, there is something already on at the moment. There is a level up event on, which you can see at the moment, which concludes in 18 hours from now. Now, based on the calculations and based on when I'm recording this video, which is on a Sunday, we've currently got a finish point of 1 PM UK time. Now, I don't know what's going to be in your time, but for me, it is indeed 1 PM-ish for the finish point of the current event, which is level up. But then will something appear then? I don't think it will. I think the command will just spend several hours with nothing being posted until, say, 10 AM PST, or they'll put these new super events live at that particular point. I don't know that 100% to be true, but it's definitely something a lot of us have kind of like considered, especially like myself and many others that look to acquire some of these 7-hour, 22-hour events. They could put, what's the next one after level up? It's Arena Wins. So there could be an Arena Wins until Kabam go, boom, gone. So look for a potential opportunity to get a bonus revive and health potion and 25 units if something goes live an hour after, but I don't think they will. I think they'll just go, just kind of like it has an expiration point and it, just stops right there. We'll have to see. But Summoner NR was definitely kind of like right to go, questioning whether or not there would be, further events. We'll have to see. Well, we will have to see after 1 PM UK time, early whatever time, late time, whatever you are, wherever you are. We'll find out later on. Okay, let's talk about the subject again, unfair matchmaking. We talked about this on the 21st of June. Now, there's several things that could be going on at the moment, and I just need to kind of like make people aware of them if you didn't see the video on Friday, and as well if you're not thinking about what's going on. Like, at the end of the day, if you're frustrated about the way the Battlegrounds matchmaking is done, hang fire and listen a bit and draw your own conclusions for some of the things that we know about. So what do we know about? So on the 14th of June, Kabam did a live stream. In that particular live stream, Kabam said that they were going to make changes to Victory Track in general to make the progression a bit easier for people. Now, that doesn't explain why there's frustration with some players about the way the matchmaking is, but something that was mentioned by Kabam Crashed was that they were going to be looking into matchmaking. Now, I don't know if that indeed went live with Season 19. If it did, it may mean that the structure has changed, in that you may find harder matches or easier matches. Easy matches for those that are Valiant, and harder matches for those that are Cavalier, going from, say, the very bottom of Victory Track to about Gold, and then it starts getting easier as you look to get further. Maybe. But maybe not. When you consider stuff that's happened in the last several days, like when the season went live, what did we have? That's right, we had issues with players who would normally be high up in Gladiator Circuit be lowered down in Victory Track. So you were highly likely facing off against people that were very and highly skilled, and then going, oh, I can't make any kind of gains. But there's something weird that has gone on. Well, not, and another thing before we get into it, what I'm going to talk about in a second about this is, people are going to be grinding out Battlegrounds Season 19 more because of that particular Deathless Vision piece. I think if you're not aware of that, then that is going to cause a very rough season. Also, Kabam have put in more stonking rewards as compensation. So again, it's kind of causing a bit of a concern. So there's a lot of things going on to consider. To give you an idea, I'm moving house at the moment and I'm trying to find as much time. I'm doing the Magnetron crystals because I need to do them, but also I need to get up further. I haven't been participating as much as possible in Battlegrounds over various seasons because, again, house move and stuff like that. So one of the biggest things is that I'm down in bronze. That's not helpful for a lot of lower players. But again, something weird. I don't know if this is true. I don't know if there's an issue. I'm just going to tell you what I've seen, what I've experienced, and what is correct. And what is correct is all of the people of the 4 accounts. By the way, there's no ill will against these people. These are a lot lower accounts to my account. So I've got a higher account. I'm not kind of like, I don't have the biggest account in the world, but because it's now switched several years ago, a couple years ago, to free to play, there is still, you know, I have a strong account. I've built strong champions, but the accounts I'm facing off against are a lot lower. These are a lot lower accounts I'm facing off against. So is it fair? No, it's not. And then again, this comes into the question about what's happening with matchmaking. And then you look at the bigger picture and go, is this because Kabam said they were going to change the matchmaking and this is the change? Number two, has it been like this for the last season or two, that lower down players are seeing accounts like this? Are they also seeing it in... I pressed the wrong button there. Sorry, everybody. There. Are we seeing gold accounts? Are we seeing, you know, a lot of... Look, I don't know 100% what's going on, but what I can see and what I can say to you is there's factors. There's factors maybe affecting the way it is. And of course, here's the thing. It might be down to like stuff and changes that Kabam have done. It may be down to the circumstance of things. Is this going to be a rough season for lower accounts? Undoubtedly. Will it get better? Maybe. Wait a couple of weeks and see what matchmaking does. You could be facing off against fairer based matchups. You may not be. That's, I think, when we'll find out. When these players that have got big accounts and are having to do, Season 19 by the way, have gone up and left you alone, you may find that then these lower accounts and you can battle off more fairly to make gains. Again, there's so many factors with Battlegrounds. It isn't straightforward with it, but of course I've seen plenty of people talk about the state of it, and of course with matchups. So it's a tough one. It's a very tough situation in Battlegrounds in general. We'll have to see, I think, how things go into these next week and the week after. And yeah, like people are asking these questions here, like matchmaking was supposed to be based on roster for levels under Platinum 2. That's when it becomes a free-for-all. Right now, matchmaking before that is not fair. The seeding shouldn't matter. It's a difference I saw with my third alt account this season compared to the previous two seasons. So I don't, and this is the thing, like we don't know if all of this stuff is true. And what I've done is explain factors that have maybe changed things until Kabam say, look, we changed this or we changed that, or we've done it in this way. But we don't know yet. You know, this could be, we could be living the experiment or the guinea pig situation of something that Kabam are doing. I don't know. I'm just spending a lot of time theorizing. And player here says, not going to make fun. Just going to say, run through story, pick up Valiant, build significantly better rosters, and realize the issues still exist. You continue to stomp on smaller accounts, and you'll continue to get stomped on by larger accounts. It's the nature of the beast. So, yeah, I think it's just, it comes with rough and smooth. And as I said, and as I agree with Captain Rogers on his point is, wait for a few days and you get to see fair matchups. I gotta be honest, I think it may be a little longer than that. I think it may be either next week or the week after, as we've started kind of like shifting around, and that may be a good time to go in general. But when it comes to the Magnetron crystals, you will feel you have to do the particular content to get that win. Although I do feel that should have been participate in 3 to 5 Battlegrounds matchups to get the particular crystal. But that's on Kabam to kind of like do a better system that's, I'd say, reflective of allowing a lot more people to get involved with it and not feel, if you're crap at Battlegrounds, then, you know, you're not feeling too punished with this. And and finally, and by the way, have your say on the matter in the comments. This here, because Kabam messed up and now the higher accounts are having to grind up from the bottom ranks up, instead of being seeded up ahead of the lower accounts. So lower accounts did not have to face many top end accounts. They are all now grinding up together. Lower accounts may have to wait a couple of weeks for top accounts to move up. That's true. Yeah, I know. Thoughts in the comments or what you think that Battlegrounds matchmaking is up to. And now let's do arena results for Valkyrie and for Professor X. So the only results we got were as follows: 57.5 mil for position 114 for Valkyrie, and 8.7 mil, placed 1% to 5% Professor X. Thank you to J. Vant McQueen for that particular info. So if we're going for prediction for round 2, I'll go with the same I did for round 1. Valkyrie 6-star 50 mil, maybe pushed to 55, but to be honest, it probably did the number with 50 mil, probably a lot less. 25 mil, yeah, go for it for Valkyrie. Professor X, again, 18 mil, maybe 20 mil, depends. But yeah, 10 mil for the 5-star. Those have been the results. That's been the show. Thank you very much for watching. Check out some other content located on screen. And we'll be talking about the super event later on when it drops. Appreciate you all. Cheers. See you later.